Max Verstappen dominated the competition at Spa to take home the victory in the Belgian Grand Prix. Red Bull completes their 21st race with a 1-2 finish, but Ferrari continues to struggle and fall short of the podium. Charles Leclerc's chances of winning the title were dealt another blow as he finished outside of the top three. Welcome, racing enthusiasts, to your favorite channel, Racing Insights. Today's video is going to be really entertaining, so tighten your seatbelts because we're about to begin. But before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell symbol so that you don't miss out on any of our wonderful videos in the future. And let's get started. Max Verstappen took first place in the Belgian Grand Prix while Lewis Hamilton was forced to withdraw. What could be a more effective method to throw down the gauntlet than to make a resounding declaration of intent? And while it's likely that Max Verstappen hasn't had much time for Shelley during his brief but hectic career, his victory at the Belgian Grand Prix ensured that the following line from the poet's poem, "Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair," was heard around the world. This was a triumph that gave notice of his and Red Bull's superiority rolling through the echo chamber of the Ardennes Mountains. It echoed Ozymandias' epic pronouncement. This Formula One season has included a number of exciting races, but the one that took place at Spa-Francorchamps on Sunday was one that only Verstappen will remember fondly. Nevertheless, there was some significance to it on two different levels. For Verstappen, who was in the thick of the title race, his pace and control would have left little but misery for his opponents. On the other hand, for Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes, who were struggling to return to a competitive pace, the weekend could not end soon enough. On paper, the victory that Verstappen took should have been regarded as something of a classic. The fact that it was not a sign of precisely how dominating he and Red Bull were in Belgium is indicated by the fact that it was not. He advanced through the rest of the field to take the flag from the 14th position on the grid. However, because they had such a speed advantage, the breath-holding visceral excitement that so many passes should have entailed was absent from the experience, and they were hardly visible. During this drive on a Sunday, the dog was in the back seat, and its owner rolled down the window so that it could feel the wind on its face while watching the competition slip away one at a time. The gap between Verstappen and his teammate Sergio Perez, who finished in second, and Ferrari's Carlos Sainz, who finished in third, was 17 seconds. Neither one of them had even remotely considered staying with the Dutchman. The reigning world champion had a significant edge in qualifying and would have been in first place if it weren't for the grid penalty he received for using a new engine. As it turned out, the sanction was nothing more than a mild inconvenience. Because of his incredible accuracy and poise at this time in his career, very few people had any question that he would at the very least finish in the top three. He had been quietly confident that he would return. This insignificant brew was not in the schedule. After the lights were turned off, he began his masterclass with an extraordinary quickness that impressed everyone. His passing was outstanding, despite the fact that he was driving a vehicle that was obviously faster than the players he was passing by in the middle of the field. His pursuers were helpless, as he mostly breezed past them on Kemmel Straight as he moved up to 10th place by the end of the first lap and then 8th place on the next lap. After the restart caused by the safety car, two more cars went out of the race, and by lap 8 he had passed George Russell's Mercedes to take third place. After a short while, Perez took over the position that Sainz had vacated. The Dutchman had taken the lead with an air of nonchalance and disarming ease after only 12 circuits had been completed. As he himself admitted, no one could ever touch him. "If you look at the entire race weekend, then yes, it was the most dominant of my entire career," he added. "The automobile has been outstanding. I don't believe any of us anticipated it, but it's been really pleasant. I was able to pass one car on each circuit, and the fact that I was doing so gave me reason to believe that I might be able to win the race." From that point on, he was untouchable, cruising to the fastest lap and opening a gap of almost 20 seconds without barely breaking a sweat. This, in a twisted way, made what was quite some achievement look like less of an accomplishment than it actually was. Even if it was underwhelming for the fans, with the exception of vast swaths of the Orange Army who once more bounced their way with joyful abandon through every lap, its significance will not be lost on the rest of the field. Red Bull demonstrated an edge that may not have been seen since Mercedes had it in the early years of the turbo-hybrid era. This advantage was displayed by Red Bull. Their speed was absolutely unrivaled by anyone else. Sainz made it clear that he was referring to their behavior over the last weekend. He would know, having wrested the finest performance possible out of his Ferrari, which, it should be remembered, also had a spanking new engine this weekend. Despite this, his quickest lap was 2.6 seconds slower than Verstappen's car. However, Sainz was noticing how quickly Ferrari's Pluto was being overtaken by Red Bull's Jupiter, which had a vastly superior mass. This season, Verstappen has won a total of 9 races, and there are still 8 to go. The incumbent champion currently has a lead of 93 points over Perez and 98 points over Leclerc after Ferrari's Charles Leclerc finished only 6th after starting the race in 15th place. Speculation over when, rather than if, he might win a second title began as soon as the Belgian flag came down. Spa was a race that could not have been more different for Mercedes, a team that has previously enjoyed similar levels of supremacy. At the same time as Red Bull provided notice of a rapid offensive, Mercedes' attempt to strike back simply lost its impetus. Following their victory at the previous race in Hungary, the team struggled to keep up with the rest of the field throughout the whole weekend. Their poor performance was made even worse when Lewis Hamilton collided with Fernando Alonso, who ended up finishing 6th on the first lap of the race. Because of the damage to his vehicle, Hamilton was forced to withdraw from the race. The 7-time champion apologized for the incident, but it was typical of a driver attempting to grasp every tiny chance he has since his machinery is not up to scratch. The champion apologized for the incident, but it was indicative of a driver trying to seize every tiny chance he has. His colleague Russell finished in 4th place, although he was as far behind the pace of the leader as Mercedes have been the entire season. There is no indication that the cloud of exasperation and disillusionment will be lifted any time in the near future. Red Bull and Verstappen have certainly taken it on this season, despite Mercedes having established the norm for such a significant amount of time. Spa was the demonstration of their menacing dominance, reveling in Verstappen's poetry in motion as it unfolded before them. After driving for Alpine, Esteban Ocon finished 7th. Sebastian Vettel drove for Aston Martin and finished 8th. Pierre Gasly drove for AlphaTauri and finished 9th. And Alex Albon drove for Williams and finished 10th. Before we wrap up, what do you think about Verstappen's strategy? Is he the best? And that's it for today, guys. We sincerely hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please click on the like button and share it with your friends and family. If you have any questions or comments, please share them with us in the comments space below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see even more of our incredible videos. You can also check out our other videos that have been specially selected for you. Thank you so much for watching our video today, and we will catch up with you in our next video. Have a great day, and goodbye.